What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have another comparison video, and this time it is between the Adidas X CrazyFast.1 and the Adidas X CrazyFast Plus. Now these are both top-end models from Adidas, both speed boots, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be considering which one to get just because they are both pretty good boots. Today I'm going to do my best to compare them and tell you guys the differences as well as the similarities between these boots, and hopefully to help you decide which boot to get. So we'll first start off with the upper. The upper on the point 1 model is like a thin synthetic. It is mainly on the plasticky side. It is pretty thin. It is a lot more pliable than the previous Speed Portal version. I feel like that boot was just kind of stiff and wasn't as soft. This one, it is like a bit more pliable though. Like on feet and to the hand, it does feel a bit plasticky. But like once you break them in, they do feel a lot better. Like on feet, in my opinion. On feet in the beginning, they didn't really feel that great. But once I started shooting and like running around with them, and they kind of broke in, they did feel a lot better on feet. But overall, the touch on the ball is pretty thin. It does have this knitted material here in the midfoot, which kind of like does a good job of holding your foot in place. And this kind of midfoot area does fit a lot more snug. And I would say it's because this like knitted area doesn't really have that much stretch, and so it is kind of like holding your midfoot in place. Which, if you guys like that, this is a really good boot to get. But overall, this synthetic isn't bad. It's actually pretty good. It does have some texture here, but honestly, you don't really feel that on the ball, and it doesn't really grip the ball anymore or any less. So it's not really noticeable. The upper on the CrazyFast Plus is a lot thinner. You guys can see how thin this upper is. It's like paper thin. It's almost see-through. In some colorways, you guys can see like through the upper. This one kind of just feels a bit more unique just because it's just extremely thin. This also has more of a plasticky feel. It is a synthetic, and so because it's so thin, it does have that like plasticky feeling like on feet a little. And like the touch on the ball is very unique just because it feels like you have nothing on feet. If you guys want more of a unique sensation on feet, like in terms of the touch on the ball, it's for sure the CrazyFast Plus. Point 1 has more of a standard feel, I guess that would be the easiest way to describe it. Like, I feel like if you guys worn Adidas models before, like synthetics, you guys already know how this is gonna feel and like on the ball. But this one just feels a lot more unique, in my opinion, on feet and like on the touch on the ball. And since we're talking about uppers, that also affects performance. Now, the performance on the CrazyFast Plus, it is pretty good, but I feel like it does lack some structure in the midfoot. I feel like when I was like cutting really hard, I did feel a little bit of slippage within the boot, and also in the heel. I feel like I just moved around just a little bit. It didn't feel as secure as I would want to, but if you tie your laces very tightly and do like maybe a runner's knot, then that kind of makes it more secure. But for me, I still found that it did have a little bit of slippage and a little bit of like rollover in the midfoot. So because you get that thin upper, obviously you will get a little bit of lack of performance, but it's not like a huge impact, I would say. Like if you guys don't mind a little bit of slippage or a little bit of movement inside your boot, then sure, it doesn't really matter. I found that wearing grip socks really helps with this. That kind of eliminated the slippage in the heel or like the movement. And obviously I still had a little bit of movement inside the boot, like when I was cutting really hard. But other than that, like wearing grip socks did solve the problem. So if you guys are experiencing that or you guys are worried about that, just wear them with a pair of grip socks and you guys should be fine. And the performance with the CrazyFast.1, I found that it's a lot better. It's way more structured, and that does have a better lockdown all throughout. Especially in the heel, I found that the heel is really like nice and locked in. I found no movement like whatsoever, and in the midfoot, even without the laces tight, there was a bit better lockdown. And once you tie those laces, there's just like no movement whatsoever. So if performance and like structure is very important to you, then go with the point 1 model just because you're gonna have a better lockdown in this boot than the CrazyFast Plus. Not that the CrazyFast Plus is bad, but there is just slight like rollover in the midfoot in my opinion. In terms of the sole plate, both of them are the exact same, so you guys aren't really missing out on anything in terms of the sole plate on either boot. They both have a nice responsive feel. It gives you more of a snapback sensation. These are probably the most like stiff and like responsive sole plates on the market in my opinion that I have tried. So if you guys really like that like snappy sensation, then go with either of the Adidas models. Another difference is the padding in the heel. So now here on the CrazyFast.1, there is some padding here, but I feel like this is a good amount. You know, there's like two pillows on each side of the heel. I feel like this does a really good job of hugging your heel without having too much bulk in the back. Although I do feel like, obviously, like I said before, there is some slippage, but I feel like wearing just grip socks helps with that. But the heel is pretty comfortable in my opinion. The heel on the CrazyFast.1, as you can see, does have a lot more padding all throughout. And for me, I found the padding a little bit annoying at first just because I did kind of feel it because I was thinking about it. But once I was playing around, moving around, and shooting, it didn't really feel as bulky. And I feel like because it was so padded, it just did a really good job in locking down the heel, and it was pretty comfortable. Now, in terms of sizing, both of them run true to size. So go with the normal size that you guys usually get. So we'll talk about the fit next. And in the toe box, I feel like the Adidas CrazyFast.1 does have more like a wider toe box compared to the CrazyFast Plus. You guys can see it like here in the video. It just has more of a like wider like toe box than the CrazyFast Plus in my opinion, even like on feet. And it is a bit more like lower volume. If I guys do this, it does have more of a lower volume in my opinion. So the CrazyFast Plus is a bit more narrow, like more consistent. The CrazyFast Plus does have like a narrow like midfoot and kind of opens up a little bit in the toe box. It's not crazy wide, but there is more space in the toe box with the CrazyFast.1, and you might find them a bit more comfortable. And in terms of the midfoot, they're both pretty narrow. I feel like this one, because of the, like I said, the knitted material does like hold and wrap your midfoot really nicely. And so this one for me has more of a tighter sensation. And the CrazyFast Plus, because it has a standard tongue construction, it does have a more accommodating fit because you're able to like obviously like tie in the laces a lot more in certain areas, like make it looser. And if you guys have a bit of a wider foot, these are probably better than the 0.1 model in my opinion, just because you are able to adjust better the lacing system. So for me, the boot that I would pick would probably be the 0.1 model, just because I like the sensation of having more of a lockdown feel and more secure feel in the midfoot. The CrazyFast.1, it is a really good boot. And if you guys want something that is more unique feeling, then go with the CrazyFast.1, just because you do get like that weightless sensation. Like these boots are lighter than the CrazyFast.1. They have like a really like lightweight feel on feet and in hand. And it's a very unique sensation, something that no other boot does at the moment on the market right now. So if you guys really want that unique speed boot feel, that has a really thin, paper thin upper, it's just super lightweight and just feels like you have nothing on feet, then go with the CrazyFast. The CrazyFast.1 on the other hand, it isn't a bad boot. It's more a simple boot, if that makes any sense. It's what we expect from Adidas, a thin synthetic, a good fit, good lockdown. Like it's a really good boot. There isn't anything that really stands out from the boot apart from the sole plate. Me personally, I prefer the 0.1 model just because it has a bit more lockdown in the midfoot. For me, I don't really care if it's super like lightweight and super thin. I'd rather have something that has a bit more lockdown. Like these, when I was cutting in, like I said, I just felt a little bit of movement, and I don't really like that feeling. I just like my boots to feel really secure, even though I did have my laces tight. I just rather feel like really secure in the midfoot, and these I found no movement whatsoever. Well, that's it for today's video. We talked about the uppers, the fit, the performance. The sole plates are the same. Hopefully I was able to give enough information on both these boots so you guys can decide which one to get. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. Also subscribe to see more videos like this, like more comparison videos. If you guys have any questions on both of these boots, be sure to leave them in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.